Alrighty, and welcome back to the Mother-Daughter Disney podcast. My name is Amanda. I'm here with my lovely mother.
Hi, I'm Janette.
And today we are going to plan our Hollywood Studios day. This is going to be hard for my mom because my
very
mom
hard.
doesn't like Hollywood Studios.
She gave me all these things I had to think about. And let's just preface it by saying not my favorite park. I don't really like the rides. I don't really like the food. There's very few things I do. So it was actually easy in the sense that I put down exactly the few things that I like and the rest of the stuff, just forget about.
Yeah, that's okay. So first we would say me and my mom are definitely both Lightning Lane people. When we go to Disney, because we're not locals, of course, either, we're going on trips. So this is like our vacation. So we just have the cost of Lightning Lane is a part of our trip.
Especially
when we
that
go.
we've like consolidated our trips to short trips.
Yeah.
Makes it,
So yeah, so this I do have Lightning Lane in mind to say like this is how I would kind of plan my Lightning Lane for the day if I can. Again, Lightning Lane strategies change in the moment though, depending upon what rides you can get when. So
Right.
it depends, I would say overall. But I would say ideally or like in my mind, this is when I would try to plan things around overall. I'd
Right.
say.
We make it just the cost of the trip.
So let's say we get into the parks and we're going to rope drop. Mom, what is your rope drop thing to do?
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway
Okay,
Railroad.
you're rope dropping that.
Because
yeah.
I don't like that queue. It's a long one. It winds in and out. It's usually in the sun if the sun is out. It's usually in whatever kind of weather. You're standing out there for the longest time before you get inside. So I would think that I would go to that one. And I don't go to many rides to begin with. So that would be my first. I'd go straight to there.
Okay, that sounds good. I would actually be rope dropping Slinky Dog Dash because I think that one is the ride to rope drop. The reason why is because in Hollywood Studios, the single pass Lightning Lane is Rise of Resistance. So in theory, you almost always can get a single pass Lightning Lane. It's pretty rare that those really
You
sell
don't have
out.
to rope drop that
Yeah,
one.
like those ones don't usually sell out immediately. So if again that has standby queue too, and the standby is almost all indoors too for Rise of the Resistance. But for instance, if in the middle of the day you just if I decided I don't want to stand on that long line, I'm just gonna get a single pass. For the most part, you can usually still get one even a couple hours into the day. Whereas for Slinky Dog Dash, that is the tier 1 Lightning Lane. It's one of the tier 1 Lightning Lane rides for the multi-pass, and that one goes the fastest for multi-pass. So if you wanted to do Tower of Terror or Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, those are also tier 1 like multi-pass Lightning Lane rides. So then you'd have to pick which ones you're going to do.
Right.
So if you're doing Slinky Dog, and because Slinky Dog goes so quickly, a lot of people don't get Slinky Dog until the evening. So then you have to wait those 2 hours before you can book your next Lightning Lane.
Right.
So, and then those 2 hours are not necessarily wasted time because you can do other things in between there, but it just means you have to wait until you can utilize your Lightning Lane or the multi-pass Lightning Lane a second time. So because of that, I would actually try to rope drop Slinky Dog Dash. So I'll go straight to Slinky Dog Dash, hopefully not wait too long for Slinky Dog Dash. I suppose we would see. But then that kind of leans into my breakfast where I'm having breakfast, which I would have breakfast at Woody's Lunchbox. So I would just stay in Toy Story Land for the most part. So at Woody's Lunchbox, I would have the plant-based tacos. And these are, again, they have a chili, says in quotes, chili cheese, green onions, corn chips served over potato barrels, which is just tater tots. But tater tots is actually a trademarked title. So they have to call them potato barrels.
Okay.
And I would also have whatever the lunchbox tart is as well. That's seasonal, so it just changes. If it's one of the lunchbox tarts that has like the coffee flavored in it, I would not have it because I don't like coffee flavored stuff. But if it's one of like the fruity ones or the chocolate based ones, I definitely would have one of those.
Okay.
All right, where are you going for
I'm going
breakfast?
to
Mom?
Starbucks.
You're just going to Starbucks.
Actually, it's called the Trolley
Trolley Car Cafe.
Which is a Starbucks. I would be on my way to Mickey and Minnie's picking up my breakfast. Or if worse comes to worse, go there first and then walk back a few steps to go get my breakfast. And I'd be having a nice cup of coffee sandwich, a breakfast sandwich.
When I just throw egg sandwiches.
Yeah,
or
just
something?
the egg sandwich would be fine. Just as long as there's some protein and some stuff in there, that would make me happy.
See, some of the egg sandwiches at Starbucks aren't bad.
They're not bad.
I've had a few of them.
No,
I don't
they're not
usually
bad.
go to Starbucks. I've only been at a handful.
We don't do it on a regular basis.
The last time I was at a Starbucks was in February, and we're filming this in June. And I had one of those egg light things or something like that.
Oh, those I don't
And
like.
before then, I hadn't been to Starbucks maybe in a couple years.
Yeah.
Like it's been years, but
Yeah, no, they're egg sandwiches, like eggs and sausage or eggs and bacon or whatever on whatever bread you want it on, are not bad. They're good for like a quick breakfast, a quick protein snack, and just to go. So that's where I'd be having breakfast.
All right. Well, now we're into our morning rides / shows / like things to do. So what are you doing in your morning?
One of my other favorite things, I like to go to the Little Mermaid show.
Okay.
I love the Little Mermaid show. It's just the Little Mermaid. I mean, I just love the whole idea of it. I love sitting there. I love sitting in the theater and watching it. So the Little Mermaid show is a good morning thing for me.
All right.
After I've stood online for a long time at Mickey and Minnie's.
Well, you rope dropped Mickey and Minnie. So
Yes, but it's still
wait too long.
probably a long line.
Anything else you do in the morning?
No, that would be it for me. Walk around.
That's it.
Yes. nothing else that I have to run to. This is my morning. They go on all the other rides.
Well, okay, let's get to my
and
morning.
I sit on the bench and wait for them.
We'll get to my morning then.
Okay.
All right. My mom's going to Little Mermaid ride. All right.
Okay.
So this is what I would plan to do, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So again,
Okay.
this is
So
one of
that's
my
the next
favorites. So
one.
I would just
Deal.
want to make sure I prioritize this ride just because it is a favorite of mine. So I would just have to go on that. So again, after I rope dropped, I would do my ride. Again, the week before when I'm doing my 3 rides I pick out, Mickey and Minnie's would be one of the rides I would have picked out.
Right.
So that's what I would do. I would also then, as soon as I do Mickey and Minnie's, get my next lightning lane for Tower of Terror.
See, another ride I don't go on.
I would definitely know Tower of Terror is another ride that is a big priority.
Okay.
And again, really depends for Tower of Terror because again, it depends on the day of like when you get your light lanes and stuff. But ideally, that is what I want to do.
Right.
Now, I will say I actually don't mind the standby queue for Tower of Terror. I've done it quite a few times. You kind of go through this little rose garden in the front. Not to say that you don't wait a long time for Tower of Terror because you definitely do. For instance, for like Rock and Roller Coaster, like the Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster, that queue to me is one of the worst queues ever. That queue is horrific. I could not stand on that queue for forever like that. I would struggle standing on the Rock and Roller Coaster queue.
I don't go on that either.
Yeah, Tower of Terror, I actually don't mind doing the standby queue for that one. I've done it a few times and it actually moves a lot quicker than you would think. I would say overall. Not too bad overall. So, but again, overall, if I could get my lane for it, I would. After I do Tower of Terror, we'd probably leave that section of the park, maybe go through the little shops in that park too, go pick up my mom in the sitting by herself.
Pick me up wherever I'm sitting, right?
And then I would head over to Star Tours because that's usually a good time to do Star Tours.
Right.
Now, for the most part for Star Tours, you can always get a really quick light lane for Star Tours. Sometimes the line for Star Tours can be really long and sometimes it's really short. It really depends on the day. It depends on the ebb and flow of traffic. So again, just depends for that, but I do love Star Tours.
Another place they dump me on a bench and go do what they're going to do.
So I would also plan for doing Star Tours as well then. All right, so that brings us to what we're going to be doing for lunch then. Where are you going for lunch?
Well, Backlot is pretty close to there. So burger, for a burger. If I'm going to get a burger someplace, the Backlot's got pretty good burgers. Burgers, French fries, whatever. Or Catalina Eddie's for pizza.
Okay.
So either one of those. All the other like fast food places, or because we don't sit down to a big, heavy, fancy lunch. All the fast food places, I looked at all the menus and said, nope, don't think so.
Well, again, for lunch, I would then be heading over. Again, we just did Star Tours and My Little Perfect Hollywood Studios Day. Now we are heading over to Galaxy's Edge because we're going to spend some time now in Galaxy's Edge fully. So when I get to Galaxy's Edge, I would go to Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. So at Docking Bay 7, they call it the Felucian Falafel Hummus Garden Spread. I actually have had this before, crazy enough. Sometimes when I talk about food, I actually haven't eaten it. But this one I have had it. This is a chickpea falafel, roasted beet hummus, and beet tomato cucumber relish topped with garlic tomb sauce and served with grilled pita. I feel like that sounds a lot fancier than what it is, if I'm being quite honest. It's pretty small. It's actually not that big, but it's just enough. I would say I really liked it when I had it. I thought it was good. I really like the ambiance of Docking Bay 7 too, because it doesn't feel like you're at a docking bay in Star Wars. I think that's super fun. So I do like Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. I think it's a good spot. And again, I like the atmosphere of it too. Really fun to be. Now, in theory, if we could have gotten a reservation at Oga's Canteen, would I have done Oga's Canteen? I think maybe yes, I would have done it. I really love the idea of Oga's Canteen, but I don't like that you have to stand the whole time.
Oh, you have to stand and
I'm not
eat,
there are
drink.
because you don't pick your table when you get there. Because when you make your reservation, they bring you to your area that you're going to stand.
Oh, and then if somebody just happens to
there
get
are
up.
no, you don't leave your table. It's like you're going to a table service restaurant. You get you're at your table.
Oh, okay.
So you're served at your table. You only stay there. So now there are a few tables with seats, but you would have to be brought to those tables, and those are usually only for bigger parties. And again, getting a reservation with a bigger party is almost always impossible as well too. So anyway, they will bring you to your area, and sometimes they will ask like, is it okay you can stand? Can you sit? Whatever, when you make the reservation and stuff. But for the most part, you're standing the whole time, which I just don't really like.
I wouldn't enjoy that.
You also only get to stand there for 1 hour, which I think is a little inconvenient too overall, because you're really timed down. Now that is just because so many people are trying to get reservations in there.
People are trying to get
so I understand they're trying to get in and out. So I don't necessarily mind that aspect of it. And they do say you have your spot to stand in, but you are allowed to walk around as much as you'd like, because there are different things to take photos of and different shows, like mini shows that they kind of do in in the room and stuff. So you can walk around as much as you want and take photos as much as you want, photos and videos. But for drinking and eating wise, you have to stand in your little spot.
No, it doesn't.
Now, Oga's Canteen doesn't really have a lot of food for the most part. They mainly just have appetizers.
I was gonna say it has little snacky stuff.
Yeah, just little appetizers for the most part. And we've only been there once when they first opened. We did get the appetizers appetizers. And we did get the appetizers, and the appetizers were pretty good. At the time, it was just like some like roasted nuts and like roasted kind of falafel, like Mediterranean type
Simple
food, honestly.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. I think they've since added a little bit more to their appetizer menu, and they're also always adding drinks too. I always see new drinks popping up for Oga's Canteen. Now, for the most part, depending upon the drink, they can't always make something be a mocktail. Like if they have an alcoholic beverage and you ask for it to be a mocktail, not necessarily that it's pre-mixed, but yeah, some of them are just so specific that it's like that you just can't get them. You just can't get it as a mocktail.
Right, you're going there for the atmosphere.
You're
of
going
what they're
there
serving,
to have the fun of being in Star Wars. Right. So anyway, if I could get Ogre's Canteen, I would definitely consider it. But for the most part, we'd be eating at Docking Bay 7. All right, now let's go to our afternoon rides and shows. What are you doing for your afternoon rides and shows?
Toy Story Mania.
You Toy Story Mania?
That's like the only other ride that I like. So we would be going to Toy Story Mania to do that.
Are you doing anything else in the afternoon?
No, maybe I'd sit through the Indiana Jones if I had to and stuff. But other than that, there's nothing else really I need to do. That's just the only one that catches my attention. I'm telling you, Hollywood Studios is kind of a waste for me.
Well, maybe once the Monstropolis area opens up, maybe
that'll be more interesting.
More.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you'll go on that roller coaster. You never know.
You never know.
It doesn't go, as far as I know, that does not go upside down or backwards.
It depends upon how much it knocks you around.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it all depends upon how much it knocks you around, and we'll see what happens. But
we'll see when it opens.
Yeah, but right now, nope, Toy Story Mania. Get my little thrill from Toy Story Mania. And it's wherever you're going, I'm sitting on a bench again.
All right, for my afternoon rides and shows, we're in Galaxy's Edge. We just had our falafel. Falafel is very good. Sorry if you can hear the buzzing outside. Not sure what they're doing outside right now. So I would either do, if I couldn't get a lightning lane for Smuggler's Run, the Millennium Falcon ride, I would just do single rider for Smuggler's Run.
Right.
They've recently updated Smuggler's Run where the engineer, so you're either the pilot, the gunner, or the engineer. The engineers now get to take care of Grogu, Baby Yoda. So because of that, the ride is a little bit different. It's a little bit more engaging for the engineers. So before, when you're single riders are almost only ever the engineers. You don't really get an option to do anything else for the most part. And because of that, you just press a button before. You just press the button, and no matter if you press the button every single time and told you to press the button, you could never get 100%. Don't know why. Press the button perfectly, and I still can never get 100% accuracy. Don't know what I was doing wrong. But now the engineers are taking care of Grogu, which I think is really fun. I haven't done that yet, so I would like to do that. But again, being a gunner, I think is also really fun. To me, being a gunner is the most fun because it is the most instant gratification, because when you press the button to like shoot the gun, you see shooting. You see what you're shooting. Like you have instant, like you're blowing things up like in the moment. I find being the pilot to be really hard, which is why I don't like being the pilot. I'm not very good at being the pilot, so it's very difficult. I think it's also meant to be a little difficult because it's very teamwork, because one pilot does up and down and the other pilot does left and right. So you don't even have full control over flying. Like when you're driving a car, it's not like I can only go left and right and like not go, like a car's not really good. That's what I'm saying. You don't have full control over flying in any way. I feel like if you had more full control, like a real pilot can do all directions, it would be a little bit easier. But because you can only do 2 directions out of the 4, it's a little bit more difficult. And goodness gracious, if you need to go diagonally for any reason, it's like, it is not easy to go diagonal for any particular reason. So that's why actually Gunner is my favorite, and I'm excited to do the engineer because I feel like I would like doing the engineer for Smuggler's Run. So I would definitely do Smuggler's Run. Again, I would probably have purchased the single pass for Rise of the Resistance. We always usually do an afternoon Rise of the Resistance or single pass. So we would be going on Rise of the Resistance, or for some reason, if the lines weren't really that long that day, I would just do standby queue
Rise of the Resistance, I don't mind going on Ride of Resistance. It wasn't a bad ride for me. It was okay. It wasn't great. Like I didn't go through it going, oh my god. There were a couple of places I went, oh, that's really cool. But to pay for a single pass lightning lane, it's not worth it for me. I mean, I'm just going on it for the sake of going on it.
Galaxy's Edge is the only area in all of Disney World that does have open roaming characters. So even
you still have
the stormtroopers, that like the Disney stormtroopers, they walk around. You still have the like Chewbacca walks around, Ray walks around, Kylo Ren walks around.
I mean, it's always interesting for me
and
to sit watch people anyway. But that area, I have to say, to me was very interesting, because to see the costumes up close was very, very interesting, as opposed to seeing them on the screen when I just happened to be watching one of those movies with you. It was very interesting to see those characters and the garb and the stuff that they were wearing up close.
All right, so then after I would have my Galaxy's Edge, I would then head over to Toy Story Land and go on Toy Story Mania if I could get a lightning lane for that. Now, for the most part, that's why I'm saying I may not do the lightning lane for Smuggler's Run, because I probably prioritize Toy Story Mania over Smuggler's Run, because you can do single rider for Smuggler's Run. You can actually do single rider for Rise of the Resistance too now as well. I've never done single rider for Rise of the Resistance, but you can do it technically.
What it passes, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how long it typically takes. I'm not sure. But anyway, Toy Story Mania doesn't have that. So Toy Story Mania, we'll definitely get my light lane for Toy Story Mania as well and go ahead over there. Now, of course, we're not doing Alien Swirling Saucers. To me, that is one of the worst rides. I do not like Alien Swirling Saucers.
No.
It doesn't even feel fun when you're on it. It just feels like...
It makes you dizzy.
Well, it doesn't... I wasn't even
Some
dizzy.
people love
It just
that.
kind of like whips you back and forth, but in like no discernible pattern. So it just feels kind of weird. Whereas at least like on the teacups, it's like fun because you're going in a little circle. But I don't know. Alien Swirling Saucer, I was not a fan of. But anyway, Toy Story Mania, I would definitely be going on Toy Story Mania for our afternoon ride. We definitely have fun on that.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, now we're getting to our dinner. And then I guess we didn't have any midday snacks. What midday snack would you have?
You didn't say anything about snacks.
Yeah, I forgot to put snacks on here by accident. I just realized.
I don't know, because if I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I wouldn't be eating it.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't be eating an afternoon
Well, I guess
snack.
if let's say, open stomach, you're hungry all the time.
I'd go for popcorn.
Get a
like in the
popcorn maybe.
afternoon.
Would you go to Baseline Tap House maybe and get the pretzel there?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because we've done that before where we
Yeah.
sat there. Yeah,
That would be
there
nice.
are
If I
tables
got
there
that place
too.
opened up, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
really
you can
cool
get drinks
place.
there as well, like
Yeah.
real drinks. It's an open bar, so you can get drinks
Yeah,
there.
that would be a nice place to go.
Yeah, I've heard their pretzel's really good too. I've had their pretzel before, but I've heard they have other items on that menu too. That are
Yeah,
also
they
really
do.
Good.
I
They
forgot
have the
all about. Like
charcuterie
I said, you didn't
boards.
say anything about snacking, so I didn't look it up. But yes,
Yeah.
if that would have come across, I would have said, "Oh, I like that place." Yeah.
All right, so then where are you going to dinner then?
Well, there's only one restaurant I'd eat in, and that's the Hollywood Brown Derby.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only restaurant. The other ones do not interest me at all. I have to say that we've eaten at the Hollywood Brown Derby, and it was good. It's got a very limited menu, but it was good. I can't complain about it. It's got a nice
What would you
atmosphere or
get?
whatever. Probably the steak. I'd probably have the steak at that point. But I have to say that everything we had there was good when we were there, and the service was good, and it's a really nice little atmosphere about being back there in the old Hollywood. So that's the only restaurant I would eat in. We don't eat in the park. I'd go out of the park before I had a
normally
choice.
we do not eat dinner in this park because most of the
but if
restaurants
I
aren't.
didn't have a choice and I had to eat in the park, that would be the place I would be requesting.
I would be going to the Sci-Fi Dine-In restaurant.
Ugh,
I've been
no.
wanting to try to go back to this place for a while now. Just the
no.
timing hasn't fully worked out yet. So yeah, but I want to go to this for a while because I think it just looks so fun. You get in a little car, they have a little movie playing.
Okay.
little
Well, you know
sci-fi
what? One
movie.
time when Ted's with us, you and Ted could go over there for dinner.
We
Me
will,
and
yeah,
Daddy
'cause
will
I
go
know
to
Ted
the
wants
Hollywood
to-
dinner, and then we'll meet back up.
Yeah, because I know Ted wants to go to the Sci-Fi Dine-In restaurant. And they have a pretty good menu. I would be getting the Sci-Fi Plant Nachos is what they're called. This is fried tortilla chips topped with plant-based black bean chili featuring Impossible Beef, trademarked Impossible Beef, avocado, and coach cream because it's vegan, and pico de gallo and cilantro. Those actually sound pretty good. I've seen some photos on them. I haven't heard anyone review them necessarily, so they could be horrible, I suppose. I do not know.
Okay.
Now, if I'm being honest, because I am not vegan, I would actually probably ask for just regular, like the regular nachos, and then just ask for no beef on them because I do like regular cheese. I don't really love vegan cheese. So yes, I probably but anyway, I just get the nachos no matter what. And then they also they call it the Flying Saucer Impossible Burger. This is a grilled plant-based burger, portobello mushroom, plant-based cheese in quotes, garlic tomato aioli in quotes, pesto, lettuce, and heirloom tomato served on a brioche bun, which actually sounds pretty good to me. I would definitely probably like that, honestly. And then, of course, you just get french fries. They have onion rings. They have, again, a lot of diner type
They have
stuff.
a lot
is
of
what they
diner
have.
type food, but I do not want to be in the sci-fi dinner with the screen on at the same time.
Yeah, my mom doesn't like sci-fi things.
No, I don't like sci-fi at
Sci-fi
all.
things, I like sci-fi. Sci-fi doesn't bother me. And again, I would be really going for I think it'd just be fun to sit in a little car, if you sit in your little car and enjoy your
you and Ted
movie,
can go.
fun little
Me and
atmosphere.
Daddy will go to
Yeah, so one day
we'll leave
we're
the
gonna
park
be-
and go to a really good restaurant.
Yeah,
over
one day
on
we're going to do
Boardwalk.
that. Well, we're going for the atmosphere.
Yes.
Don't you like the atmosphere?
Not that atmosphere. No, I am an atmosphere person, but not that one.
All right, and then on this, one of the last few things I had here was for dessert. What
Well,
would you
that's
be
when
getting
I would go for my
dessert?
Mickey bar.
Yeah.
After dinner, if I was gonna, I don't normally eat dessert, but if I was gonna go for dessert, it would be a Mickey bar.
Mm-hmm.
A nice little piece of dark chocolate on that vanilla ice cream would be perfect.
Realistically, that is what I would want as well too, because
Mm-hmm.
we're pretty basic. I feel like when it comes to a lot of desserts, we kind of just want the classics. Now there is the famous Gertie Christmas cookie that, in theory, if we were there during Christmas time, I would love to get that little Gertie Christmas cookie.
Yeah.
She's wearing the little hat.
still
She
rather
looks so
have a
cute, the
Mickey
little
bar.
sugar cookie with her little hat on. So I would love that Christmas cookie. That's only during the Jolly Nights, though. I think that's an exclusive cookie for that. But in theory, I would love to get that cookie. And they've had some pretty good, unique desserts over the years as well too, just like that pops up in and out, just like seasonal things.
We tried one of the reindeer desserts. Remember that one?
Yeah, it was like a cheesecake little reindeer.
Yeah, it was like
thing.
a cheesecake reindeer and
That
stuff.
was pretty good.
You're a little bit more adventurous when it comes to.
I was just saying, yeah. So they always have like fun little things, but realistically, yeah, I probably would be just getting like a Mickey bar
is always my go-to.
or something kind of basic. I would say overall. So all right, so then on our way out of the park, what are you doing on your way out of the park?
I'm shopping, of course. I've got to look at everything, even if I don't buy anything. I have to look at everything on the way out. We got to go through every store on both sides before
That's
we
true.
get out.
In theory, it's like I probably would have had a lot of my shopping like interspersed, obviously, throughout the day. We'd be
Yeah,
going
you kind of go in some of the
shopping, going
areas
around
you go
stores.
shopping, but if on the way out, it's just go through all those stores on Main Street to make sure that you've covered everything and see what's there. Because every once in a while, they do have something different in Hollywood Studios. I have to say that I bought a lot of merchandise in Hollywood Studios because I don't know if it's the way they put it out or how they present it, but you realize that you look at it and go, oh, I like that, and I end up buying it.
Yeah, so again, so after we've had dinner and dessert, on my way out, so this is assuming we're not going to do Fantasmic. If we were doing Fantasmic, we would probably be ending the day.
That's not
obviously.
going out. That's
what
the
I'm saying.
nighttime show.
We would probably be ending the night on Fantasmic
Right.
because there's really only one nighttime thing to do. I didn't really put like nighttime thing to do because I assumed you would just do Fantasmic. But other than Fantasmic, on the way out, this is when I would actually place Rock and Roller Coaster. At this point in the day, the lines, again, assuming you couldn't get your lightning lanes for it, because I prioritize other rides over Rock and Roller Coaster for the lightning lanes. Again, assuming I couldn't get that, then hopefully the line would be a lot less in the evening time to try to go on Rock and Roller Coaster.
I don't go on that, so.
Also, this ride is fully indoor, so it doesn't really matter what time of day you go on it, because it's an indoor coaster
It'll
anyway.
be an indoor ride.
There is a single rider for Rock and Roller Coaster. Now, sometimes the single rider line still takes a really long time, so it's not necessarily guaranteed to be shorter. I've waited, I think, over 30 to 40 minutes on single rider for Rock and Roller Coaster, and you stand there just kind of by yourself because my mom doesn't go on that ride, so I just stood there by myself.
By yourself, just not talking to
on
anybody.
That single rider line. So yes, that's why I wouldn't do that one during the day necessarily, because I find the Rock and Roller Coaster queue to be tough. And in general, since their queue is pretty tough, it's just outside. I think now they may have covering, but it's just outside. You just weave in and out.
Well,
Nothing
I've
very
been on the
interesting.
queue to Rock and Roller Coaster before, because I've done the queue all the way to the end.
Yeah, but that's once you get inside when you're almost on the ride.
Yes,
if the queue is long and you're just standing outside for like an hour on end, it's pretty tough, honestly.
Yeah, I've never done one when it's been that long. I've done it when it was a little shorter, and I went through with you to see the little mini show in the beginning, and then I go right through that little hallway out to the gift shop.
No, for sure. So I would say Rock and Roller Coaster for the end on the way out, hopefully with the line being a little shorter, or again, maybe a single rider would be a little shorter as well too. So I think, then I'm leaving Rock and Roller Coaster, we would hit all the shops along Sunset Boulevard and then Hollywood Boulevard too.
Street.
And then we would be heading out of the park. That is our Hollywood Studios day. How do we plan our Hollywood Studios day? So that was fun. So that's the longest.
It was a lot more fun for Amanda than it was for me.
You did like 2 things the whole day.
3 things.
Yeah, I didn't even see the shows.
I just don't.
I do like the Little Mermaid show. I do like the Beauty and the Beast. You didn't do the Beauty and the Beast show. You could have done that.
Oh yeah, that's a nice show in the morning. I like that one in the morning when you go over there to that area, and that's a nice show in the morning.
Maybe you would have done Little Mermaid and the Beauty and the Beast.
I was only picking one when you told me to do this. I thought I was only picking my favorite. So
no, you're planning. It's like what would you do the whole morning, the whole afternoon?
Amanda wasn't as clear on this as otherwise I would have added like the Beauty and the Beast or something else in between, or they would have. I thought I was picking my one like really go to for each thing. So
that's okay. But yeah, I didn't really have time in my day to do the shows, so missed out on a lot of shows. Sadly,
yeah, no, I'd rather go to the shows because I don't do the rides.
Yeah, realistically, you probably would have time like filler time, when you'd be doing the shows and everything. But it's hard to know. It's like, well, I'm just sitting here in my room. It's like, well, what's my filler time? I don't know because I'm not actually doing it in real life.
Right.
But in theory, if I could do the shows, I'd definitely be squeezing into some of the shows.
They're very nice shows. They do put on a really good show.
Definitely the Little Mermaid show, and I love the Beauty and the Beast show. I think I struggle with Beauty and the Beast because it's like a shortened show technically, so it's not like the full fleshed out like Beauty and the Beast show. So a part of me is like, we're going too fast. It's like, I'm not ready for us to be flying through the storyline this fast. Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, they have to consolidate.
Same thing with Little Mermaid. We're flying through the story too fast. Like, I'm not ready.
They have to consolidate it.
But they are really good shows too. I do love that. This was like a couple months ago. I guess this is my Disney memory for the day. Not even Disney memory. I wasn't even there for this. I just saw this on Instagram. But the character who plays Lumiere, he had fallen over in costume during Be Our Guest, and he was just laying on the ground with his little feet just sticking out. And they actually had to stop the show there. And like the thing came on, they're like, due to unforeseen circumstances, the show has come to a pause. And like, I think we all can see the unforeseen circumstance as the stage man just came out in like the little black shirts, helping him to lift him up and then bringing him off stage.
Oh, what a shame.
It was so funny. It was so great that I love that. It was so funny though. I think about that a lot. I had to say that video was so funny. Yeah, what is your Disney memory?
My memory is when I did not go to Hollywood Studios. See, I usually go to Hollywood Studios because I do like being with everybody, and I do, like I said, there are a couple of things I really do like doing. So I go. One time I did not go. I said, okay, you guys go, and I'm going to go off to Disney Springs and do what I did. So I went to Disney Springs and spent hundreds of dollars. I went to Free People. I went to Sarah. I went to everybody. And even at the end, I was like, aw, I'm bored. I should have been at Disney Hollywood Studios.
I was saying, you don't like Hollywood. Again, you just gotta tough it up, Mom, next time. You're going to go on all the Star Wars things. You're going to go on Smuggler's Run with us.
God, no.
You can come on Rise of Resistance. I think you'd be fine on Smuggler's Run. Smuggler's Run's not too crazy. No. And what else do you? Will you do Toy Story Mania?
I think
Toy Story you could do Tower of Terror. I don't know why you can't do Tower of Terror.
I have no one to do Tower of Terror.
You could do it.
Nope, don't want to do it. Nope.
You could do it, though. I believe in you. Tower of Terror is not bad.
Nope, I just sit down and watch people go by.
You don't go upside down or backwards in Tower of Terror.
Nope, I'll leave my stomach on the first floor.
You just go up and then you go back down. That's it.
Well, a lot of screaming going on in that ride.
People scream for fun. It's like screams of joy. Screams of joy is what Tower of Terror is.
I don't think so.
Screams terror of happiness, right?
I'm past that age of toughing it out.
All right, our Disney quote for this week is, "In my experience, there is no such thing as luck." So that is said by Obi-Wan Kenobi in A New Hope, 1977. Okay. Yeah, so I had to do a little Star Wars quote for today on our Hollywood Studios. Episode. Right. But thanks for everyone for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. Make sure you guys review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or leave a comment down below if you're watching on YouTube, and let us know on our social media, how would you plan your Hollywood Studios day? What would you do? What food items would you get? What's your favorite restaurant? What's your favorite snack? What are things that you just like to do? What is your lightning lane strategy in like a perfect world type of thing? What would your rope job? We'd love to know. Definitely let us know. Maybe we'll change up our strategy next time we go to Hollywood Studios and do something different than Hollywood Studios. So yeah, we'll love to know. Definitely let us know. But until then, we'll see you next time.